Climbing holes are held on to the climbing wall with a bolt and a T-nut that is installed in the back of the wall. And I'm going to show you how to install these T-nuts and also talk a little bit about the different types of T-nuts that are out there and where to get them. So I get all of my T-nuts through Escape Climbing. I think that they have a really good supply and good prices. I'll share a link with their site on Amazon where you can get them for the best price. So first up, the most economical is the 4-prong T Nut. Now if you are using this, it's just fine as long as you can access the back of your wall, because the chances of repair on these guys are much more high. Also, if you're using the 4-prong T Nut, I recommend putting just a dot of glue on the outside of the barrel here. When you install that, it's going to give you a lot more longevity on these guys. These cost about 13 to 14 cents a piece. The 3-hole round base T Nut, these cost about 24 cents a piece, unless you're getting them in large bulk, and then you can get them a little bit cheaper than that. And they do a great job. It takes 3 screws to install it in the back of the wall, so it is much more time consuming than the 4-prong install or our other 2 options. It's a much longer barrel, and it only has 2 holes to install it that are those screw holes are opposite of each other, so it's going to hold it in there nice and firm. This is the one that we're going to be installing today. Now the industrial T Nut, I really like this one a lot. It is the Cadillac of T Nuts. This does leave an impression, a slight impression in the plywood, and a round one will still have the ability to spin, but this will just bite down into the plywood a little bit more. These holes for your screws are much further apart, giving it better leverage to hold on. And the way that the barrel is designed inside, the first little section does not have threads, in hopes to help line up the bolt better when you're setting your problems. So this is definitely a very, very good T Nut. This is about 5 cents more than this one per T Nut. So it does cost more money, which is why we're going with this one. I think that this one is going to do a good enough job. It's going to be, it's better than these 2. So this is what we're installing. Also, one difference is it is super important that you get the drill size correct. 7/16 drill bit, 1/2-inch drill bit. All right, I got my 7/16 drill bit in here. Let's knock some holes into this panel. We don't want to just knock some holes into this panel. We really need to set this up in a grid pattern. The best grid pattern for your climbing wall panel is going to be a 6-inch by 6-inch. You want to go 3 inches off of your edge and then every 6 inches. And I already have this marked out to make it easier to mark this on the face, because we want to drill from the face to the back.
On the side of my straight edge here is marked out 3 inches and then every 6 inches. So all I've got to do is line up my board and then make these little crosses here. And that's where I'm going to drill.
Now the reason why you want to drill it from the front is because this is what it looks like on the back. Now granted, I'm not using the absolute best drill bit right here. I would actually recommend a brad point drill bit, which I have, I just could not find it and I need to get this project done. So you drill from the front, and then you're going to have a little bit of a blowout in the back. Now this isn't too bad. You can work with this, but you don't want to have the front of your climbing wall looking like that.
I use a wooden sanding block with sharp edges on it so I can knock off all those burrs. Once they're cleaned off, you can go ahead and start installing your T-nuts. The T-nuts need to fit in that hole nice and firm. If they do not, you're going to have problems down the road. When you're putting the screws in, I like to spread some out on the table and then just keep a small amount in your hand. That way, while you're driving one screw in, with the other hand, you can be getting that ready to be put in. Thank you, Justin at Rockworks, for this technique.
So that's how you install the 2-hole T-nut for climbing walls. I hope that this video helped you out. If it has, give me a thumbs up. Also share it with your friends or those that you know that may need this information. I'll have all of the descriptions of sizes and specific tools that you will need to do this install down in the description below. So check that out, and I'll see you next time right here on Climber Dad.